January 2026 exploded online when new yacht photos connected to Meghan Markle suddenly started circulating. These were the same old images people have debated for years, not blurry screenshots, not recycled posts. This was fresh content that many claimed they had never seen before, and social media went into overdrive. The photos appear to show Meghan in very private, ultra-luxury settings that she has never publicly spoken about, and that detail alone sparked intense curiosity. Online chatter quickly picked up, with some commentators from high society circles in the Middle East claiming the locations looked familiar. They suggested that, during her early career years, she attended exclusive gatherings in Monaco and around the Mediterranean. According to these voices, these weren't random public parties, but invite-only events filled with powerful and wealthy figures. The photos reportedly show elegant yacht settings, designer outfits, and glamorous backdrops that scream serious luxury. Champagne on deck, massive vessels, well-known international faces in the background. Within hours, business insiders and celebrity watchers were dissecting every detail. What really fueled the buzz was the timing. Meghan is currently focused on polished media projects and lifestyle ventures, so the sudden appearance of these older images caught many people off guard. Some online users began asking, why now?
Meghan is a trained actress. What she does is that she studies people. She's not a good actress, but she is a trained one, right? She's been doing it her entire life. And there is no doubt that she studied Princess Diana. She studied her mannerisms towards Harry when he was a boy and the way that she grabs her face. And this is the psychopathic elements of what she does, putting a pregnancy text next to Princess Diana's hair, saying that she put her hands on the grave to have a conversation with her, bursting in.
That question spread fast across comment sections everywhere. Who shared the photos, and are there more unseen moments from that chapter of her life still out there? As soon as the images hit social platforms, the reaction was immediate. This wasn't a slow burn, it was instant headlines, trending tags, and endless speculation. Whatever the full story may be, one thing is clear: the internet was not prepared for this drop. A new hashtag shot straight to the top, and the reaction was instant. TikTok creators started breaking down the photos frame by frame. Twitter users connected timelines at lightning speed. The images spread so fast because they showed a chapter of her life that hasn't been talked about in detail. What makes these photos different from older debates is the clarity. They're sharp, well-lit, and taken in very upscale settings. Online commentators pointed out that the environments looked extremely exclusive. That sparked specific questions about access, lifestyle, and influence. Instead of vague rumors, people were now asking direct things, like how did an actress early in her career attend events like this? Who introduced her to these circles? And why hasn't this period been discussed much before?
I knew that you wanted to go back to LA and that Canada was always going to be a pit stop. From the very beginning, this woman orchestrated leaving the royal family because all she's ever wanted in her life was to be an A-lister in Hollywood. She did not have the talent to become an A-lister in Hollywood. She was relegated to a D-list actress spot on a show called Suits that nobody in America had seen, but apparently which Prince Harry liked.
Some commentators, who claim experience in international luxury networks, said the photos align with what they've long believed, that these yacht gatherings often double as networking hubs. According to them, these spaces are about building connections, making impressions, and staying polished in front of powerful guests. It's less about partying and more about positioning. One industry insider described it as structured relationship building. High-end events, private locations, careful guest lists, total discretion. These aren't casual get-togethers, they're curated environments where reputation matters. Observers also noted that access to these spaces usually comes through introductions. Someone invites you, someone vouches for you, someone opens the door. That's how elite events tend to work. Online discussions suggested that appearing in those circles typically requires guidance or sponsorship of some kind. And here's the twist that really stirred conversation.
The thing is, there have been lots of scandals which have never come out, I'm told. and the palace have been able to shut them down. So I think the belief is that they can shut these scandals down, and it's only when the scandals emerge that they have to put Plan B into practice. So, and I think if that's the case, then that could be very damaging if that's around.
Some sources now claim the newly surfaced yacht photos didn't come from random strangers scrolling through old archives. That detail alone has people leaning in even closer. Online chatter now claims the photos may have come from someone within those exclusive social circles. If that's true, it adds a whole new layer to the story. Because when images surface from private collections, people naturally wonder what else might exist. Are there more photos, more details, more context that hasn't been seen yet? That question alone has kept the conversation trending. The images reportedly show Meghan at private gatherings where high-profile international guests were also present. Commentators have pointed out that these weren't open public events. They were invite-only settings, often described as tightly managed and carefully curated.
Meghan Markle, I think she was 35 or 30 when she came into the royal family. She'd had a life, she was an actress, she'd been married before, so she was pretty much clued up. And I think what's happened is she's come into the royal family and this archaic system has tried to control her and say, you will do this, you will do that, you will not go here.
In spaces like that, guest lists are controlled, and introductions usually happen through trusted connections. Experts who understand elite networking say access to these environments rarely happens by accident. Invitations often come through referrals. Someone makes a call. Someone extends trust. That's how those circles maintain privacy in structure. It's less about chance and more about relationships. What many online observers keep highlighting is how at ease Meghan appears in the photos. She doesn't look out of place. She looks confident and composed, like someone familiar with high-end environments. That detail has fueled even more discussion about how she navigated those years early in her career. Some sources now suggest that during that period, she built professional connections through international events and travel.
You know, I like to think that Meghan would like that. Meghan likes to be number one. Meghan does not simply degrade Prince Harry. She degrades his entire family, his entire legacy. And this is a different kind of embarrassment. She has mocked his heritage, his traditions, his grandmother, the former Queen of England, and it seems like she did so.
They describe it as consistent networking rather than one-off appearances. In high-level social spaces, ongoing contact can signal trust and long-term positioning. The timeline is also drawing attention. The photos are reportedly dated between 2008 and 2012, when she was still working to establish herself in the entertainment industry. Yet the backdrops show Monaco and Mediterranean yacht scenes, known for attracting global business leaders and wealthy guests. That contrast has become a major talking point online, especially as people revisit that era with fresh eyes. The locations repeat, the same Monaco backdrop, the same ultra-private venues, the same type of elite guest lists known for connecting global business players. That pattern is exactly why the conversation isn't fading. Then comes 2011, when Meghan lands her role on Suits, and online critics really start raising eyebrows. Some commentators claim her path didn't look like the typical Hollywood climb, filled with endless open auditions. They argue that the full story behind that opportunity was never widely detailed.
And her father was giving her money and car, and helping her get auditions. And I mean, what do you think? I mean, does it really just the money, or do you think it's fame?
Well, I mean, it's both.
And now these resurfaced yacht images are making people re-examine that timeline more closely. What do the photos suggest to online observers? Years of intentional networking in influential spaces, rooms filled with people who have reach, status, and serious connections. And in industries like entertainment, relationships can absolutely matter. Career breakthroughs rarely happen in isolation. By 2016, when Meghan met Prince Harry through mutual social connections linked to Soho House, many online users believe she was already comfortable in high-profile environments. She had spent years attending exclusive gatherings, learning the dynamics, and building confidence in elite circles. That's the narrative gaining traction right now. The newly surfaced photos highlight a visible pattern. Multiple yacht events across several years, similar luxury settings, and recurring types of international guests. Commentators argue that repetition like that doesn't usually happen by accident. It suggests consistency, and consistency often points to deliberate networking. Now here's where the timing becomes the hottest topic. These images appear just as Meghan continues expanding media projects and lifestyle ventures. Because of that, many online voices believe the release wasn't random. They think someone chose this exact moment for maximum attention. The theory spreading across social media is simple. Whoever shared the photos waited until that chapter of her life felt distant enough to resurface with impact. Then suddenly, new images, ones many claim hadn't been widely seen before, hit the internet all at once, and that timing alone has people talking non-stop. To many online observers, this doesn't feel random at all, it feels calculated. Commentators are saying the timing sends a message without anyone needing to say a word. Some believe the release could have come from someone familiar with those exclusive social scenes. Others think it might simply be old material resurfacing at a very convenient moment. Either way, people see strategy behind it. If photos from private yacht gatherings are appearing in 2026, years after that chapter of her life, it suggests someone held onto them for a long time. That's what has social media buzzing. The idea that this was planned for maximum impact is spreading fast. The bigger shift comes from how these images are being framed online. For years, discussions about this period were mostly rumors and scattered claims. Now, people feel like they're looking at clearer visuals tied to specific places and dates. That changes the tone of the conversation. So far, Meghan and her team haven't made detailed public comments about the resurfaced yacht photos. That silence has become part of the story itself. Some believe it's a strategy to avoid amplifying the topic. Others think a response may come later, but right now, the quiet is noticeable. Supporters argue that attending luxury events while building a career isn't unusual in entertainment or international social circles. Critics say the images raise fair questions about access and opportunity. The internet, as always, is split right down the middle. Let's focus on what's confirmed. Newly circulated yacht photos dated to her early career years are trending in January 2026. They show high-end settings, international guests, and exclusive backdrops. Beyond that, much of the narrative online is interpretation and speculation. What's undeniable is the impact. The photos have reignited debate, reshaped timelines in people's minds, and pushed this chapter of her past back into the spotlight in a big way. The biggest reaction online right now? Curiosity. People are asking simple but loud questions. First, how did she gain access to such high-end spaces during her early career years? Mediterranean yachts, luxury venues, global business figures. Those settings aren't exactly casual hangouts. Commentators want to know who extended the invitations and how those introductions happened. Second, how does someone enter gatherings that private? Elite events usually run on referrals. Someone invites you, someone vouches for you. That's how those circles work. So naturally, people are wondering who opened those doors and saw potential in her at that stage of her career. Third, what did those networking moments actually involve? The photos show small, exclusive groups in polished environments. This wasn't a red carpet with cameras everywhere. These were controlled settings, known for relationship building. That detail alone has sparked debate about how meaningful those connections may have been. Then comes the career timeline question. She goes from working actress to landing a breakout role on Suits, and years later meets Prince Harry through well-connected social spaces like Soho House. Online observers are asking whether earlier networking played any role in building confidence, visibility, or opportunity along the way. In entertainment and business, connections can matter just as much as talent. And now, the timing has everyone talking. These photos stayed out of the spotlight for years. Suddenly, in January 2026, they're everywhere. That doesn't feel random to many people. It feels intentional. All of this is happening while Meghan is focused on media projects and lifestyle ventures aimed at presenting a polished, relatable image. So critics are asking how these luxury yacht scenes fit into that narrative. Supporters argue that networking in high-level spaces is part of ambition and growth. Detractors say it complicates the story. What's clear is this: the resurfaced photos have reignited debate about strategy, access, and influence during her early years, and the conversation is not slowing down anytime soon. To be fair, networking isn't a crime. That's how business, media, and entertainment often work. But critics online argue that it clashes with the self-made, no-help image she has promoted over the years. They say the resurfaced yacht photos create tension between the story of rising without access and visuals that show her inside very exclusive spaces. That contrast is what's driving debate right now. Another layer making this bigger, the idea that these images were kept private for years. Commentators believe someone held onto them, waited, and then chose the timing carefully. If that's true, it suggests her public narrative has always been vulnerable to new context appearing. Once photos hit the internet, they don't just fade away.
The international angle also stands out. Elite global circles, especially in regions known for strict privacy, operate on discretion. Private yacht gatherings are usually just that, private. So if images connected to those environments are surfacing now, people see that as unusual. It signals that something shifted. Some online voices suggest the renewed attention could be tied to her growing visibility. The more public a figure becomes, the more past moments get re-examined. That's not unique to her, it's the reality of fame in the digital age. There's also speculation about what might come next. If these yacht photos are only the beginning, could more surface? Additional images, event details, travel snapshots? Right now, that's all hypothetical, but it's part of the conversation gaining momentum. What's clear is this: once private moments enter the public arena, control over the narrative weakens. The resurfaced images have reopened a chapter many thought was closed, and whether more appears or not, the spotlight is firmly back on that period of her life. Right now, many online commentators say her options feel limited. She can stay quiet and let the speculation keep building, or she can address it directly and risk even more attention on a chapter she hasn't discussed in detail. Either move brings pressure. That's why the debate feels intense. Her current projects and public image are being viewed through a sharper lens, and critics argue the yacht photos complicate the narrative she's shared about her journey. Supporters say silence can be strategic. Critics say it raises more curiosity. The bigger question floating around social media is simple: does this story end here, or is there more context waiting to surface? These January 2026 images, reportedly pulled from private collections, reopened a period many assumed was closed. Whoever shared them understood the impact. The timing alone guaranteed headlines and endless analysis. So far, there hasn't been a detailed public explanation tied specifically to the photos. That quiet approach has become part of the conversation itself. Some see it as confidence. Others see it as waiting for the buzz to cool off. One thing is clear: the resurfaced yacht images have reignited a massive discussion about networking, influence, and timing. And whether more comes out or not, the spotlight is locked in tight right now. If you've got thoughts on this, drop them below. And if you want more deep dives into stories everyone's talking about, make sure you're subscribed and ready for the next breakdown.